it's hurting. I've been awake all night. I'm still learning how to make things right. I keep making the same mistakes I made yesterday. I keep hurting myself the same way.
Time went by, I'm finally better. Separating myself, put myself together. To duck suicide, I found some things I love. Lying in the bed I made, I pull the covers up. The words I do find, they never get to you. Somebody I don't know, gon' know my business if I've been to waking you. Up 3 in the morning, knowing my body needs rest. The truth assassinate your character if I get it off my chest. I'll just leave it here. May this beat be my pain and my lyrics be my tears. You can hate me all you want, that part of you never been clear. As for me, I'm better than the man I was last year. Yeah, new status, new symbols, new habits, new devils, new position, new level, new height, same rebel. New, everything's new. I done ran out of words, they gotta learn me through my moves. Yeah.
For sure did that with this one. Yeah. This year I just want to focus on getting better. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is put my best foot forward. Champagne for all my real friends. Real pain for all my sham friends. Better.
What's up, y'all? It's Coach Justin. We're here again at the Sit Down Podcast. We have a very, very special guest, my guy, Two14. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
Chilling, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Man, that's good, bro.
I'm better.
It's been a long. I like that. Speaking of better, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. It's been a long time coming, brother. Obviously, you and I have a bunch of conversations, deep conversations, off the record, and we've always talked about doing this. You know what I mean? But like you and I both know, timing is always right.
That's right.
I think, like I said, we'll talk about the project. We'll talk about our relationship. We'll talk about, obviously your life story. But this was important to me just because I know I love talking to you in particular. And I don't think I've even told you this because you're a thought-provoking person. You know what I mean? And when some of the questions you ask me and just not many of my friends do it. You know what I mean? I do appreciate that, bro. That's why, it's like me and you start fucking with it, then we kind of start fucking with it tough, immediately. You know what I mean? So I always appreciated that with you. Right, facts. But yeah, man, first of all, before we jump into your story, because again, we're going to start with your story, I just want to know, how is 214? I know the way of the world is all over the place right now. A lot of people are dealing with a bunch of things. Just if somebody had to come up to you and say, man, just how is life? How is life treating you? How are you feeling right now in the moment? What would you say?
I first want to appreciate the person asking me that because we don't get those questions often. I know I personally don't.
Right.
I feel better. I feel good. I did a lot of healing. I took a lot of time for self. I did a lot of rearranging and organizing as far as life. I started taking more herbs and black seed oil, oregano oil, maca root, and sea moss, and B12 and magnesium, omega-3. I started taking care of my inside, myself. I got more spiritual. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power, but I also believe in consciousness. I believe in being aware. I believe in words and the power of the tongue. Yep. And I think that's bigger than anything. You got to watch what you think about. You got to watch what you talk about. And being in a space where I had to heal, I've started thinking more positive and just focusing in on that and loving on myself in a real way.
That's actually a good point. And I do have a question to piggyback off that, but just to kind of double down on what you're explaining. I was meeting with my therapist a couple months back, and I was just, I was just talking, and to be honest, at the time, a lot of stuff was going great for me. I was in a great space. I was like very, very, my creative space was just booming, bro. I'm just coming up with everything and
pouring out of you. Huh?
Yeah. So then she stopped me and she was like, it was right before the session ended, and she was like, you know what I need you to work on? And I was like, what? And she was just like you have a very distinct choice of words. Like I know you take that serious. You know what I mean? She was like, I just want you to change the the language you use with yourself when you're talking about yourself. You know what I mean? And I was just like, well, I knew what she meant, but I was like, tell me more. You know what I mean? Because her and I love that lady, man. Shout out to her. But she was just like, you know, sometimes when, like you said, the power of the tongue, when you say certain things, you're going to internalize them. You know what I mean? Especially somebody like you who's an overthinker. And again, this is me speaking as her to me. But it's like, you know, you're an overthinker, all of these things. And she's like, your language is very important. She's like, you know, instead of saying, you know, I'm tired or this and that, just say, you know, I was productive today. You know what I mean? And she was like, those small things helps retrain the brain, and it affects your energies and your moods and all those things. And I was just like, damn, that's dope. So to hear you, you know, kind of say that, it made me think of that. But what I wanted to ask was, when you say you kind of made a decision, so it was almost like an epiphany for you to kind of make this switch, right? But it's taking more care to take better care of yourself. There goes the word better again. Taking better care of yourself, and you know, wanting to, you know, treat your body as a temple, learn more about yourself, and all those different things. Was it an event that happened that kind of brought this on? Was it a person that came into your life that brought this on? Like, just what made that switch happen? If you want to share.
I had a moment in life where I recognized that I had suicidal thoughts.
Wow.
In honesty, and I felt like, excuse me, because I feel like I'm an emotional person. I want to cry. But
this is a safe space, brother. Trust me.
But
this is a safe space.
Man, woof. I felt like life wasn't supposed to be so hard. I might not have had, in comparison to third world countries, or like, you know, people who really got it real hard, but it felt tough for the space that I grew up in, and just having thoughts of like, man, if it's been this hard for 30 years, 31 years, 32 years, 33 years, am I even supposed to be here? I don't think life is supposed to be this hard. And then my example, when I go around family or I go around friends, I go around people who smiling, and why my life not like that? You know what I mean? Or because from a kid, I was in a situation where I go to the store and stuff, and say I'd be at Foot Locker, or Christmas come up, and a family member, I'm not going to be specific, but a family member would get something and I wouldn't get it.
Right.
So things like that I carry with me, you know. So I don't get jealous when I go to stores and people are buying stuff and I don't get nothing. I don't get jealous, but I just figured life wasn't supposed to be that hard. I had been through a lot of things, and it didn't make sense. I'm like, man, I might as well take myself out. I think the first time that I made an attempt.
Whoa, you actually made an attempt. Again, share as much as you want.
When I probably was like 11, 12, and my wrist right here, I had took a little knife out the chop block or whatever, and I was gonna start to cut my wrist. I'm in the kitchen. My grandma is sitting in the living room, and once I start to cut my wrist, I'm like, damn, this shit hurt. I ain't ready. And no. I felt the same way. I'm like, hey, you thought you was ready to do it, right? I'm at 11 or 12. I start bleeding a lot. But I don't know how I was young. I don't know if it was because my mom had me watching scary movies or whatever, but I knew to cut across the veins, right? So I start cutting, and then I stopped because I seen how much blood was coming up. I wasn't ready for that kind of pain. I'm young. I'm like, nah, that shit hurt too much. So I just take a napkin and I start dabbing it, and I hold it on there. Eventually it stopped the bleeding, and I go and I tell my grandma that I was trying to cut an apple. And so that was the first time that I had dealt with it. And later I kept feeling pain. And then
wait, before we move on, do you think it was the pain that stopped you from continuing to cut?
Yeah.
Or was it? So it wasn't the want to live.
Nah, I didn't. Nah,
Wow.
up until I'm older now. It was up until I got past 30 where I finally changed that thought of my why for being here, my love for self, thinking about purpose. But up until before 30, hell no, it didn't cross my mind at all. Like I'm for sure like I was one of them people where it wasn't no question. I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like don't nobody give a fuck about me. I knew I didn't. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like really thinking you don't even supposed to be here. You know what I mean? And yeah, because I was also treated like the redhead stepchild. You know what
By
I
your
mean?
family?
By a family member. Yeah. Ooh,
We can take a break if you want.
I'm good.
We can actually use this to kind of segue into your story because I don't want to focus on too much on this specific. How was it for you growing up? Like siblings, parents?
I'm the oldest of 4. I
Wow.
got 3 other brothers. We're close in age except for my youngest brother. He's 22 now, I think. Me and my other brothers are over 30. Single parent home, but I don't know how a baby, but I have a father, but I don't know my biological father.
Gotcha.
When my mom had me, she took me to his doorstep and she told him, "This your son," and he embraced me.
This is your father, but not your biological father.
This is my
Gotcha.
father, but not my biological father. But blood couldn't make us any closer.
That's dope. I actually, before I let you finish, I commend men that do that. And he and your mom aren't together at that time,
And they're not together.
and he still took you.
And
man.
he still took me.
Shout out to Pops, man.
Yeah. So yeah, he on the weekends I spent time with him and my stepmother and my brother Craig, and during the week I was with my mom. So Sundays I would go to church, and then my stepmom would drop me off at home because the church was in Oakland, and my stepmom would. So I spent a lot of time like that. But yeah, childhood was, yeah.
What was the lifestyle like? What I mean, you kind of get what I mean. What I mean by that
So
is
my mom, we from 66 and Avenal originally. We lived with my grandma. I spent a lot of time being raised by my grandma, so I kind of got like an old soul. She the one who I'm hands-on type of person. I started working making my first money when I was 12, because me and my brother would always ask my grandma like, could we have some money? So eventually she was like, no, y'all got to make your own. And I was 12 when that happened. So I would go door to door. She made a suggestion, why don't you start pulling weeds? Because I already had to do it in our yard. So I started going door to door and pulling weeds in people's driveway for $20. So that was the first way I started making money. My grandma watched us a lot. My mom was always at work or at school. So some days she'd take us to Cal State East Bay with her. Some days she'd take us to, whatever. I don't remember the other schools. But yeah, it was a lot of being raised by my grandma.
Was there a man in the house growing up?
Nah, my mom, she dated a lot, and I just recently found out that she did some dancing, and that was hard for me to accept too, because I didn't know that. Nights she ended up getting an apartment down the street from my grandma's house, like a block away, so that way we could go to our grandma's house or walk there if we needed to. In between the block was a daycare, so if we weren't, we'd leave the daycare and go, or if, you know what I mean? Because they, kids 5, 6, or, you know what I mean? Young, but you could still.
Yep.
So it was some nights where we'd wake up hungry and go into the kitchen. It's a bag of McDonald's. The McDonald's that was at Eastmont.
Yeah.
It was a bag of McDonald's sitting on the table, and that was dinner. And we didn't know where our mom was. And then me and my brother just, get back in our beds. And when we wake up the next morning, she back in the morning. You know what I mean? So
Did you ever ask?
I never asked.
Is there a reason why?
I just didn't know. I didn't know what question to ask. I didn't know why she was gone.
Did you think about it?
Didn't think about it. I thought about where my mom at, right? But
Eventually becomes normal. Gotcha.
It seemed normal for me. It seemed normal from the gate because that's what I knew.
Yeah.
So she didn't tell me that she was dancing until this probably 6 months ago.
What?
Yeah.
Are you and mom close?
No.
Really?
Nope. I was the son that took all the whoopings. I was the son that took all the beatings. My younger brother he's there a lot more for my mom now too. I love my mom to death, but the relationship that we have, I felt like she didn't need to whoop me that much. Like I got my ass whooped a lot. I got whooped a lot. You know what I mean? Like a lot. 2 belts, 3 belts, buckle. Grandma go get a switch. I'm thinking I'm smart enough. Let me go get a switch that ain't gonna hurt. I go get the thinnest one.
And that hurt the worst.
Ass whooping hurt the worst. You know what I mean?
I never really experienced that, bro.
Yeah,
I never really
a lot of ass whooping, a lot of discipline. Like
How old was mom when she had you, if you don't mind me asking?
my mom was 21.
21. Do you think, and of course this is all speculative, do you think that mom's relationship with father had anything to do with the way she treated you, however she felt towards him?
Not towards my dad, maybe towards her dad, because my mom was also molested as a child.
Wow.
And I don't know if it was by my grandma or
You don't know who?
I don't know who.
Wow.
But she mentions my grandma's husband at the time, and my grandma didn't believe her.
Wow.
And then some more stuff happened, and then he ended up getting kicked out the house. And I think they ended up having that feud where, you know, my husband gone because of you. Well, he needed to be gone because I'm your daughter. My grandma worked for the government, so she was always gone. So when she was always gone, if my mom wasn't inviting people over to the house, there was a man there that, you know what I mean, was...
Wow. You know what's crazy, bro? That generation, I think that's so common.
Yeah.
For that generation, bro, to be honest with you.
Sad, man.
It is very sad, bro. So do you feel that there was ever any added pressure, you being the oldest boy, in the firstborn, and then mom is, you know, it's kind of in and out. Was there ever any added pressure, like more weight on your shoulders to have the need to provide and do these things and kind of looked after your siblings and all those different things?
Yeah. Now that you're talking about it, it's clear why I'm not there for my family the way that I should, because I'm still searching for that purpose to provide. I'm still chasing this music. I haven't gotten the results that I want. I've gotten great results,
Right.
but I haven't gotten what I'm going for because my mom was also a singer. I'm filling them shoes also. You know what I mean? Like she
Wait, your
loves-
mom was a singer?
She loves singing.
Really? I don't think I ever knew that.
That's where like she didn't blow up or get famous or do anything like that, but she always singing. In the car, on the way to school, playing Janet Jackson, singing the words, playing Tina Marie, playing. That's why with my music, I got a real commercial sound. Mm-hmm. That's all we listen to. You know what I mean? That's all a bunch of radio. Being with my mom, mm-hmm. She put that tape in there with the cord attached to the CD mm-hmm. player and take us to Whittier. And I'm trying to copy these words and mimic the sound as distinct as I can. And then eventually getting older, I start singing the lyrics wrong on purpose, which led to her, you know, if you're going to sing the motherfucking song, sing the song right. Reaching back, trying to slap me, hit me. I'm ducking down in the seat. But thank God for that, because now I know how to, I got my own sound. I experiment a lot with music, but I developed doing things my way young. But yeah, I definitely still have that pressure of being the oldest. I think that's why I got a lot of the whoopings. Having the mom I have in elementary school, she waking us up 5 a.m. She coming in from the club or something, right? Or 4 a.m., 3 a.m. she coming in, but she coming in yelling. And me and my brother, we shared a day bed. I don't know if people don't know.
Is it like a futon?
What a day bed is, it's like a it's like a bunk bed, but you can pull out the bottom of it. And I had that bed. Twin day bed too, so it's real small. It's old metal, and me and my brother slept on the bottom. I slept on the top, and she'd come in yelling, "Yeah, whenever y'all dealing with a woman, y'all make sure y'all get her roses, and y'all make sure y'all respect her, and y'all make sure y'all open her car door, and y'all make sure," just trying to beat into us how to respect a woman or treat a woman because of how she was being disrespected when she was out. Telling us about buying drinks and stuff, but we young, we in elementary, we don't know nothing about. So you prepping me to be 30 years old or be mid-20s, but I'm 10. You know what I mean? So
is there any, knowing how old mom was, kind of knowing more of her story the older you get, does that ever make you feel like you want to offer her some grace and kind of, does it kind of minimize the whatever level of resentment that you have towards mom? It doesn't.
Nah, it's sad, and I know that I'm, like to other people, I might be wrong, but I got that feeling like what you did to me. You know what I mean? Like the way you beat me, it was just. I feel like, yeah, I go super hard, but I'm so hard on myself now. You know what I mean? Like it messed me up. I kind of feel, you know what I mean? Like it made me who I am, and I'm a leader in a lot of spaces. I'm like, I'm one of them people who like. If I gotta go first, I'm going first. If I gotta say something, I'm gonna say it. If don't nobody want to speak up, I'm gonna speak up. If don't nobody want to take the first punch, I'm gonna take the first punch. You know what I mean? Like it made me like that. But I feel like sometimes I'm overly. I'm never soft with myself. I'm never. You know what I mean? I'm always mentally pounding and beat. Like I beat myself up mentally now, and you know what I mean? Like those whoopings transition to my mental. You know what I mean? And it feels defeating at times. You know what I mean?
It's almost like you're repunishing yourself almost at any chance you get, just because you're used to that.
If things aren't the way that I feel like they're supposed to be,
right,
you know what I mean?
Right. Have you ever been to therapy?
I've been to therapy. I went, so CT Beats was working with Kamaya maybe like I don't know, 2014, 2000, something like that, right? And Dwayne Wiggins had a studio Mind Seat on 85th, and I spent a lot of time in that studio. I ended up signing as a songwriter at the time, and one time, what's his name? Daniel Jones. One time, Daniel Jones, he was engineering, and he had come through, and some fiends had broke his window and took his phones. So thinking back to childhood and the person that was developed from childhood, we had some people break into my house, young, and steal CD players, steal chains, steal things that mom had bought for us, and ended up being our neighbors 2 doors down.
Wow.
Two sons with a single mom, same kind of household, but they stole from us because we had more. My mom was sacrificing, fucking up her credit, spending her college loan money, and you know what I mean? So when that happened, I seen that. My mom went outside. I said, Mom, they got our chains on. That's my CD player. She said, what? Right? This is when we were younger. I'm going to tell you how it transitioned. But she went outside, started snatching the chains off their neck, snatched the CD player. They mom come outside. What you doing to my son? Your son stole my son's shit. So in that moment, I learned when somebody takes something from you, you go back and get it. So fast forward, the Dolphins took the phones. I'm like, well, shit, I got to find my iPhone. Let's go get that motherfucker back. So we go around the corner. We end up on 88th and B. And this is transition to the story of how I got into therapy. Find my iPhone. I jump in the car. I pull up on the first thing. Like, I don't want no smoke. Don't want no trouble. But you took some phones from some people who need their phones. You don't know who you took that from, but we need it back. We don't want to cause you no harm, no trouble. But you just don't know who you took it from. Oh, man, I don't got nothing. We know you got it. I got to find my iPhone. We ain't going to do nothing to you. Don't want no smoke, no trouble. I repeat myself. Oh, man, y'all not going to do nothing to me if Nah. I get the first phone back. My friends is on foot. I'm driving the car that got the broken windows. Like, nah, we need to go get on it now. They ain't seen it, you know what I mean? Like, but this is the only way I know how to move. So we still don't find my iPhone, go down the street. The other, what they call it, perp, the other person.
Suspect.
The other suspect. He down there, boom, walk up on him. He up a driveway, like say over there by like that sign. He up the driveway. I'm at the end of the driveway, like by the street. We on like 88th and B or something like that, 80th and D. And I see him. I think it looked like he trying to sell the phone to whoever live at the apartment in the back. So I start walking up on him. One of my people I'm with catch up to me. The car is parked in the driveway. He walking on that side. I'm walking up on this side. He acting like he got a gun. He got his hand in his pocket. I don't see him though. I ain't see him. So I'm walking up. Don't want no smoke. Don't want no trouble. We just want the phone back. We know you got it. You know what I mean? It ain't even nothing like that. We just want the phone. You don't know who you took it from. I repeat that like 6 times and I'm inching up. At this point, we get about this distance. He got his hand in his pocket. He reaches it for his hand in his pocket. And I think the person that I was with was scared because he was acting like he had a gun. silly. And he reaching his, and he pulled a gun out, and he pointed at me. I turned my back. I don't know not to turn my back. I never been through that situation. I just know if you gon' because remember, I'm not tripping off being here.
Yeah.
I've been thinking this my whole.
Right.
If this how I go out, this how I go out. It is what it is. Feel me? But I don't want no smoke, no trouble, bro. That phone is not that serious. You got it. I just wanted the phone back. I turn around, and I start walking off. He turned the gun towards my partner. He go, whoa, bro, whoa, because he's acting like he had a gun. So now they got something going. You know what I mean? Because mentally, like when you aware, you know.
Yeah.
So he shoved him in the back of the head with the gun. And then he keep walking like, I told you motherfuckers I ain't got no motherfucking phone. You bitch ass niggas. Da-da-da. He going off. We get back in front of the car. The car is faced towards where he was selling the phone at. I'm on the driver's side. He on the passenger side. The dude got power now. Anybody who got a gun automatically get power. If you ever, you know what I mean? If you own a gun or you know what come with that. You really got to mentally prep yourself to like, nah, when it's time to use it, then it's time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, in that moment when he got the gun towards him and we get back towards the end of the driveway, when I see the body language and the motion, I'm like, he finna shoot somebody. He finna shoot. Really, I'm in my mind, like, he finna shoot this nigga. When I think that, I come from the driver's side and I grab the gun. I'm like, man, I'm finna pop him because he tried to pop him. You know what I mean? And he with me. So I'm taking the gun from him. He feel me taking the gun from him. He pulled the trigger, bro. I get shot in my thumb. And it go through, it come out the other side. My thumb is hanging, but I can't see it yet. I grab my hand. Remember, I don't know not to turn around because you could get hit in your lungs. And I don't know that yet. So I go, I'm like, oh, shit, I'm hit. I'm shocked, smiling like, oh, nigga, I got shot. This nigga ain't playing. Right? Because, it's kind of like normal to us, but, you know what I mean? It's also, you know it's the way it goes, so you're not tripping. You're not scared. It's just like, oh, shit, nigga. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nigga, he doing his thing. Right. So I go back on the other side, on the driver's side. I duck down. I just hear shots going off. I don't know if he's shooting at me. My back turned, walking towards the car. When I turn around and look and the shot's still going off, he's firing at my partner, and my partner is running in zigzags. Wow. The other guy whose phone got stolen ran up the street to the right, and he boom, 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 letting off. And my partner escaped with a hole through his shirt and a hole through his jacket. Didn't get hit. I'm the only one that got hit. Ambulance ended up coming. The guy who was shooting ended up taking off. The other dolphin come run down the street, jump in the car, take the car, and drive down that way. And the ambulance come get me. I end up going to the hospital. I end up shot.
Wow.
After that, I got therapy.
Wow. First of all, that's crazy. That story is wild, bro. Like,
it's crazy to tell.
Yeah, and then it's like it just shows you like if that dude had a little bit more aim. Or you know what I mean? And then
or he didn't give what?
Yeah.
Over with. You gone.
Right. And to be honest, luckily he kind of focused on your boy because you was a sitting duck
in the
at
back
the end of the day. Right.
Yeah,
the reason why I asked the therapy question is because whenever as I'm looking at you and whenever we reference your childhood, it's like I can see the emotions. I can see you trying to hold them back, right? So I want, and I've dealt with this, right? Because go ahead.
When I was a kid, my mom tried to put me in therapy. Mm-hmm. I went in the office. Mm-hmm. We sitting there. I remember now, right? We over there at the Kaiser over there by, what is that, Mosswood? Mm-hmm. I go upstairs. I'm sitting in there. I'm sitting just like this. I can remember. Now I remember. Mm-hmm. You asked me. I remember. I'm sitting there. And I'm thinking to myself, they trying to tell me something wrong with me. Doing like this. I get up and I walk out the office. I go downstairs. My mom looking for me. What you doing? Where you da-da-da-da? You trying to make it seem like something wrong with me. I always been that type of kid, right? Certain point too, when it came to discipline me at Whittier, she pulled me out the class because I had a lot of anger. I still do, right? I was that kid in class picking up chairs and throwing them across the room. I don't want to be in this motherfucker. You can't tell me shit. You ain't my motherfucking daddy. Da-da-da-da. I was them. She pulled me out the classroom. Give me 10 push-ups. I said, I'm talking about the bell finna ring. My class probably it'd be like 30 kids in the class. They could only hold a certain amount. They know what's going on. You trying to embarrass me? I'm down in push-up position. I get up. I yell in her face. No! And I take off running, first left down the hallway, sprint. that day that was the first day. I feel like that was the first day I ran away. That was the first day I ran away from home. Yeah. But anyway, my bad.
No, you good. How was your experience with therapy? And then I'll tell you why I asked you that. When the second time
when it did happen,
when the incident happened,
it felt good. It felt good. It felt like I had somebody to talk to, and I had never felt like I had somebody to talk to for real. You know what I mean? Where I wasn't like withholding information because I didn't want them to think something about me. I was getting a stipend, so I was motivated to go too.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? They like, we're gonna pay you this amount, but you got to go here. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go. So. And I was working at the kitchen at the time. I think, yeah. I felt like it was very healing. I definitely felt like I had somebody to talk to. I had a lady too, which made it feel like, I don't know, something different about being able to talk to a woman versus talking to a man for me, because I feel like sometimes I probably tie that to not knowing who my biological father is. Right. You know what I mean?
And coming from Oakland, the stigma with black men, like we don't really trust each other. It's a bravado thing. It's an ego thing. I think a lot of that plays a part of it. And on top of the fact that you and your biological father, that a little bit of resentment there. But the reason I asked you about therapy is because, like I was saying, whenever you talk about your childhood or you as a kid or you trying to think back and remember, you can see the emotions like trying to jump
that
out of
need
you.
To be let
you know
out.
What I mean?
I
can't.
And
no. and it's tough, bro. Because like I said, the reason I noticed it because I had to work through that with my therapist. Is like we need to. When we first started, it was like, okay, we need to go back to little Justin. We can't heal adult Justin until we go back and heal.
That's tough.
Child Justin. So one of her early exercises for me, and I don't want to make this too deep, but it was like, let's start thinking back to when you started to try to remember the earliest time you felt any type of traumatic feeling, or just feeling like you didn't fit in, or feeling like you didn't want to be here, or feeling like like whenever you, like any type of emotions, and just, you know what I mean? So I started to uncover shit, and then it would just be going earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier. You know what I mean? And I would be randomly doing something, and I would think of, or I'll be doing an interview and somebody will say a story, and it'll make me remember something like, oh fuck, I went through something similar to that. So and I start to unlock all those things, and then I'm still working on how to be there for little Justin. You know what I mean? And I learned that when these emotions come out of us, that's little 214, like saying, I'm here, help me. How do I?
That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, but it's real shit though.
It is. It just, with you saying that, it just made me realize 214, birthday on Valentine's Day, love. Why I'm so big on, like, on top of being a people pleaser, why I'm so big on it is because I had a feeling of lack of love, right? And my stepmom was very big in that. Like, I can admit that in this moment. You know what I mean? It made me want to cry. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to. But that was one person I felt like I didn't get love from. You know what I mean? Wash my mouth out with soap and whoop my ass.
You went through that?
For sure.
Wow.
Soap hella nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Know, bro.
That shit nasty. I'm talking about making Kool-Aid, right? Go down there and make some Kool-Aid. I make some Kool-Aid. And just small, it's small, but I make some Kool-Aid. And I pour too much sugar in it. And I feel like now that I'm older, a mother's love will tell you, just add water to it, you'll be. But dealing with a stepmom who, because of the relationship between my mom and my dad, she like, this her son, not mine. I'm going to treat him like this, right?
Oh, wait, so you were dealing with the same shit from stepmom?
Yeah, what you mean?
Wait. So stepmom was, what was you and, because I don't remember this. What was you and stepmom's relationship? It wasn't good.
Nah, I wasn't her son.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Because I want to make sure I'm following you here. So this whole time we've been talking about biological mom, right?
Whoopings.
Right.
Yes. And
now you're transitioning into stepmom.
I was getting the same thing differently from my stepmom.
Wow.
Yeah.
You might have said that, but I don't think I caught it.
I didn't say it.
Okay. This is interesting. Okay.
I didn't
continue. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. So
I over there was whoopings also. Like my mom and my stepmom, rest in peace, my stepmom, she ended up passing away from bone cancer. Wow. Yeah, breast cancer. Went away, came back as bone cancer. Wow. And I ended up being the only one there to take care of her.
Wow.
Dad wasn't
Crazy
there.
How the tables turn.
Son wasn't there.
Her biological son.
her biological son
Wow.
put in there. You know what I mean? Like Craig wasn't not like I was. You know what I mean?
right,
I
right.
love my brother. I don't.
Right.
But I was there day in, day out. I don't know what my mom did to my dad, but my dad couldn't even be there for his wife or ex-wife or whatever they were going through at the time. Like I was there. You know what I mean? And it was like, damn, that in this moment I'm learning more and more of who I am. No matter how you treat me, one thing, like I might not believe in the Bible fully, but turn the other cheek, big on that. No matter how you did me, don't even matter. I'm gonna show you how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
But over there, my stepmom, anyway, I was saying my biological
You were
mom.
telling the Kool-Aid story. So you said a real mother's love. Well, I don't want to say a real mother, but a mother's love would be add water. That's why I cut you off.
Right, but I was saying over there at my stepmom house, it was balancing books. This is where when it came to playing basketball for Fremont, I got on the team for defense, and Coach Knight like, you didn't get on for skill, you got on because you got heart, right? Like wall sits, push-ups, balancing books, right and left hand. A lot of wall sits, 5-minute holds. So when it came to defense, that's where, like, oh yeah, but he got Dito. He don't got no offense, but he got defense. But I was getting punished, and it transitioned to the court.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So a lot of whoopings and you know, her being on her deathbed. I apologize as a baby. I dropped you on you. Just admitting things she felt bad for. You know what I mean? But
Wow.
back to making the Kool-Aid, pouring too much sugar in there. I feel like a mother's love is to say, just add water.
Right.
But a mother going through something that, you know, I don't understand that feeling. I don't know that feeling. But this ain't your kid. The kid don't even know what you're doing. But to treat this kid this way, basically in the feeling of you stupid or something, what you think you got to do? Figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, you're going to drink it. So you sitting there crying, drinking the Kool-Aid because you didn't know to add water. You didn't know. You just didn't know. Wow. So you drinking, it's hella thick, it's nasty, crying, but you drinking it because you wasted shit. And you wasted some shit since you don't know what to do. You can't think for yourself. You gonna drink it.
Wow. And how old are you at this time? Ideally, like
I want to say 12, 13 maybe. 12, 13, something like that. I was young.
Do you think?
I wasn't in high school yet, for sure.
Okay. Do you think that? And I don't know if you ever thought of this, but you know, so take as much time as you need. Do you think that looking back on your childhood and the relationship you had with mom and the relationship you had with stepmom, do you think that affects your relationship with women?
For sure.
As an adult,
if you listen to 214, my first project, I talk a lot about my relationship with women. Right, and that's something that I've personally been working on over and over and time again, because realizing the relationship that I have with women and my role and position in it, not him, not that guy, suck. I wouldn't want my daughter to talk to him. No, I was dealing with a girl who, you know what I mean, like, man, it was a good girl. You know, when you lose one, you lose one.
Right,
you know. And I done lost a couple, though.
Right.
I done lost a couple. Like, they moved on, got married, or found somebody that, you know what I mean, wanted to act right. But, you know, girl would show up picking me up from work in a dress trying to look nice for me. Fuck you got that dress on for? Who you trying to look good for? Da-da-da-da. Make her start crying. Because I'm insecure at the time. I'm in my early 20s.
Did you ever witness mom being abused?
So,
again,
mom,
share as much as you want, bro. I don't want to ever
mom
put you in uncomfortable.
Was when we were young, my mom was dating, right? And we saw different men go in and out of her life. And, you know, you don't understand, you don't know, but I saw her searching for love. My mom had met this guy, and tall white guy. I never... You know, you don't know. You just know white. You see little thing. You just, when you young, you don't know. You just know that white, nah. You know what I mean? So they met. He had her moving different. I don't want to speak on the things that I noticed as a kid. It was different from what, like, cause me, when I'm at home Monday through Friday, me, my mom, and my brother, we share a room. So when she getting dressed, she come out the shower, turn your head. right? I'm gonna whoop your motherfucking ass. We're not trying to look. We don't know nothing about that.
Right.
But she making sure, you turn your head, you're not looking when it come to watching scenes on movies and shit coming up. Close your motherfucking eyes. So we share the room. So I just know my mom when it's time to go to bed, I'll leave it at that. But she started moving different with this guy and stuff we noticed as a kid, and we end up moving to North Carolina, right? So I'm young, we moved to North Carolina, and I don't know how long we was out there, but once he got her out there and they was isolated, he was whooping her.
What?
Whooping her. My brother, we young. I want to say we was like 8, 9, like young, right? So
there's nothing y'all could do to intervene.
Nothing we standing on the steps. Stop! Get off my mom! Stop hitting my mom!
Was he ever abusive towards y'all?
No, I don't. Nah. But her, for sure. Like it wasn't fair. It wasn't even fair. You know what I mean? Like just watching, you could just see like her getting thrown around, tossed around, like. And I had experienced that living in L.A. prior to that because she had a friend whose name was also Tracy. My mom named Tracy. Both her mom named Tracy. And she also had 2 sons. My mom had 2 sons. They wanted both pursuing a music career, so they moved to L.A. So we living in L.A. And the other Tracy got a boyfriend named Paris at the time. And Paris tearing her up.
Y'all living together?
All of us living in one spot. So it's 4 boys, Paris, and then both the moms.
Both moms, right.
Paris acting as our daddy also, but he only messed with their mom. So we doing 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups, listen to Tupac, and you know what I mean? He trying to train us to be a certain way. Right. He always got wife beaters on, just certain stuff you remember. But anyway, being in North Carolina, so I was saying being in L.A., I witnessed they mom getting beat up by Paris. He always was whooping Paris. You know what I'm saying? Always. I mean, Paris was always whooping Tracy. So being in North Carolina, it was like a repeat of that. But my mom going through it, and it's this tall ass white man. He probably like 6'4", 6'5", like 230, 220. Now that I'm older, I can picture the build. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a picture in my phone of the dude, you know what I mean, still to this day. And I don't know if it's like if I ever seen type of thing, but I remember, I don't know why, maybe I need to delete it, but it's crazy. It's just things that's popping in my mind. Please don't judge me.
Right. That's real though.
But yeah, so that was happening. Me and my brother ended up having our own room, so you can hear, that just made me holes in the wall from something that either he pushed her. Damn, it's crazy how it's coming up. From him pushing her through the wall or something like that. Yeah, like her throwing her him throwing her into the wall and putting a hole in the wall, or the door being closed and you could just hear your mom screaming. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I ain't talked about that, but
that's deep though. Go ahead.
So what ended up happening is one time, I just thought of something else. My mom, and at the time, I'll say this first. At the time when we got put in school out there, me and my brother, I experienced being in a classroom where I'm the only black boy in the class.
Wow.
It's all white kids. I'm the only black boy, and then there's a black little girl. So this had to be elementary. But that was the first time I'm like, damn. I didn't have no friends, nothing. When I got back to the house, we had a long-ass, backyard green grass. I think we stayed in some apartments. All the apartments was connected but different. Each one of them had a back door that led to the same backyard.
Yep.
Something like that. So, but yeah, so I experienced that. But anyway, what ended up happening is my mom ended up calling my grandma one day, and my grandma called one of our uncles at the time, or her brother, my grandma's brother, something like that. And he came from Kansas City because my family's from Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
So they came, and he came and he picked us up and drove us all the way to Kansas City. And then we stayed in Kansas City for a minute. And then when we left Kansas City, we ended up back in Oakland.
So you were born, so you started from Oakland, L.A. for a minute, North Carolina, Kansas City, then back to Oakland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was you and your brother's relationship throughout all of this? Or is this making you guys closer? Is it just kind of y'all coexisting but not super close? What is that like for?
So me and Ken didn't have any father figure at all. So in that aspect, me and him, close as in that's my brother, so I'm happy for you that you do have a father figure in your life. Distant as in you got a father figure in your life, I don't got one, so we different. Distant as in you going on the weekends, I gotta stay here 7 days out the week, 365 days a year. Yo, your life different than mine. Close as in when you are here, we on a video game every day. This my brother. This my brother. This who I'm in this with. You know what I mean? When we had our differences, a whole lot of fighting. But I'm the older brother, and I always been like the wrestler, the boxer, the little more athletic. I always been that one. So over time, I think he got tired of it, or we just grew apart. But I started gaining my own friends, and the friends that we mutually have, we both still have those friends today. But when I was out growing to go pull weeds and get my money, my brother stayed in the house and played with toys. When I wanted to go ride bikes and go skate, play tag, Ken would come out sometimes, but wrestlers had just start coming out, and so video.
Y'all are
games,
different. And what's the difference in age?
Year and 5 months.
Oh wow, so y'all pretty close in age.
Yeah.
Wow.
So me and my brother, we close. We not as close as I would want us to be. Any of my brothers, the other side is they my brothers too. Like blood couldn't make us any closer, but we older now and we realize what it is, and
Right.
the relationships are different. You know what I mean? And this is from my perspective. I don't.
Right.
I love them all the same. You know what I mean? But I know what the reality of things are, and I'm chasing music, so nobody ever really see me like that. You know what I mean? I'm too busy. I'm the one that feel like I got to make this happen, right? Because I got to fill this void. My mom didn't have nobody. I got to make this shit happen. You know what I mean? So I'm close with Ken. We recently getting back closer. Like we was on Call of Duty last night, and I can tell that. Damn, over time, me not being around, like chasing and going, he felt the way like you left me. You know what I mean? So we not as close as I want us to be. Because my thing is like, I'm not your dad. I'm your brother. You know what I mean? But I've always been the example of how to go get it, how to go. And you left me. You went to go do your thing. I red shirted at Merit, but was living at Holy Names. I had my own friends. I went to go. I'd be in 6-9ville with Kev and CJ and Will, Lays, Pal, rest in peace. Nate, rest in peace. Sam, CJ. So I'll be over there while I'm trying to go to school. While I'm, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be at this house. So much didn't happen in this house because this is the same house where it happened to my mom. My great grandma done passed away in here. My grandma ended up passing away in here. Like, I don't want to be here. Look at it. They was hoarders. So I grew up in that kind of household too. So all my
I feel like a lot of grandparents
Hoarders?
thinking back, a lot of them, bro. A lot of them back then. They just like the houses used to have just shit everywhere,
like,
bro.
we got one trail. When we
Yeah.
come through the front door, it's one trail that leads you.
That's funny.
It's one trail that leads you,
Right.
into the dining room area and shit on the dining room. So,
That's funny.
man, and the kitchen looked crazy. Like we didn't. Neither my grandma didn't cook, my mom didn't cook. So
Wow.
it was a lot of fast food. Like my mom for sure. Like back when she used to cook spaghetti, top ramen, canned tomatoes, canned corn, and she'd cut up hot dogs. Mom, this not spaghetti. Boy, you better eat this motherfucker. That's motherfucking spaghetti. I made that shit. You can't cook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I know about microwaving eggs. I know how a microwave hot dog taste. I ate raw cheese before. I used to eat raw bacon. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. I've been, you know what I mean? So now I know how to cook. I keep my space clean. I was a sous chef for a second. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, the eating raw bacon shit is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
me and my brother was hungry. Nobody was cooking.
That's
We
crazy.
we didn't have money. We like, because my mom bought a lot of like freezer food too, right? My grandma's the one who showed me about like grocery shopping. She'd go every 2 weeks, and she'd get everything that she needed, and then that would last us until the next 2 weeks. So we had sodas and everything, and me and my brother, she had this pin cushion that sat on top of a piano. We got a piano in our house, and we got a harp in our house too, but it sat on top of the piano. Oh, I just thought about the harp. But anyway, it's a pin cushion that sit on top of the piano, and we used to take a pin out the pin cushion because we was only supposed to get one soda a day. but we'd take a pin out the pin cushion, poke a hole where it was silver on the can, because you know the cans back then used to say strawberry if it was strawberries, grape if it was grape, cream soda if it was cream. You know what I mean? That's safe from Safeway. And we'd poke it where, because we didn't want them to notice, so we'd poke it where the silver was, and we'd drink the side of the can, suck all the soda out, and then we'd put it back, because you know the box that they used to give you if you got 4 packs of 6, it is just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd
Fill
be
it
like
up.
a variety. Yeah.
So we'll put it back in the plastic and put it back in the box and act like we never drunk a soda. Because our grown,
Wow.
make sure y'all drink one a day. We're like, we is. Or we'd drink, and then we'd hide it in there. So we had cans underneath our bed, cans of soda, because we didn't want to get caught.
That's funny. But I think it's interesting because me knowing that you're a chef now and you like to cook. Obviously, I know that from conversations we've had. But it's funny how these passions and things that we find the love to do, it's almost an act of survival. For sure. You know what I mean? Thinking about your childhood to where you had nobody cooking for you. It was like I had to learn how to cook, or I'm gonna have to keep eating this way. You know what I mean? See, I grew up in a household where my mom, I had my mom, and then I had an older sister. Both cook.
Wow.
I don't know how to cook to this day. You know, I never.
Yeah.
Then it was like every girl I've been serious with, my ex who I live with, loves to cook. So I never really needed. Now I always keep saying like I need to learn how to cook because I live by myself. I've been single for hella long. I got 2 kids, and I really only cook
For the kid.
when the kids are there. Mind you, I went to college as an athlete, so I know how to eat once a day and be good. Because I was a struggling college student that had to, you know what I mean? And now
had to find that
You
way.
see what I'm saying? It's like, I got to wait. I can't eat till 2 because I don't got enough to eat twice today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I ain't got to, I'm going to buy this one, half of this, because it's going to stretch till.
Or I might
Now I
gotta
got
order a
lunch and
pizza
dinner.
so I can warm it up. You know what I mean? It's like you got to decide. So now I kind of still live like that, to be honest with you. And I don't have to no more, but it's like. Again,
now you just know you got to transition out of it.
And that's what that's and I promise I'm gonna let you get back to it, but it's like when I'm raising my kids and the life that the reason why I work so fucking hard, bro, is because you realize that your norm creates your habits. You know what I mean? And it's like what you become used to, it becomes habitual. It's like I literally, bro, I'm so low maintenance. Like I can live out of 2 duffel bags and be fine, bro.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I have to force myself to fold my clothes, put them in the dresser, because I've been used to living out of my fucking duffel bag, or I wash my clothes, just leave them in the basket, and then I'll go through it when I need something, and I put this shit back in the basket, you know, because I lived in a dorm room, shared, you know, I didn't have dressers and all those different type of things, so it's like I had to make this shit work. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom, you know, provided I never wanted for anything. You know what I mean? But my mom wasn't rich. You know what I mean? My dad did prison time, and you know he did what he could, but I had a lot more than most people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Growing up, I'm gonna be honest with you, but there was also people that were in my life that had way more than me. You know what I mean? Which is it goes into your comparison conversation we had earlier about social media and all of that shit. But we talked about that off camera, but we'll touch on that today too.
It's crazy. That shit made me think about so much.
Right.
This conversation, like,
it's dope, huh?
it's bringing so much. Yeah, it's dope. It's fire. It just made me think about the duality of my life. Being over here on the weekends, being on. Because now, like, when you talk about folding clothes, I'm like, why do I? Oh, my stepmom who was whooping my ass, that same household is where I had to fold my shirts, put them in. You have a t-shirt drawer, you got a sock drawer. That's how I know how to do it. When it comes to cooking something or just bases of, oh, you know how to do that because of over here. So when I'm coming back home, my brother don't know how to do it, and I think about our relationship, and he like, well, he know, and I'm who he learning from because I'm learning it from over here, or knowing that you can have a two car garage, 4-bedroom house, 2.5 bath, and be good because they got it over here, but on 6-6, it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath home, dirty than a motherfucker. But I'm like, so now, you know what I mean? Or
those experiences are opening up your vision to more things, and I'm so glad you just brought that up because basketball did that for me. Because my teammates, I went to school in Pleasanton for my first 2 years of high school. So meeting these kids, they driving BMWs to school, and they got their license they get their permit at 15 and a half. They know the date. They know the date on the calendar. Yeah. Oh, March 16th, I'm gonna be 15 and a half. I can go take my permit test. I never thought of that. I didn't even get my license until I was 18. To be honest with you, out there,
go ahead.
Out there, you're out that's not normal to not have your permit at 15 and a half and driving at 16. You see what I'm saying? Usually the family has a car they're passing down.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, so
it's crazy.
now I'm starting to wonder, why isn't my life like that? To circle back to what you said earlier. So now it's the comparison thing, and it's like, oh no, I don't want that no more. I want this. Now I'm traveling the world playing basketball, and I'm on the highest stage of basketball, and I'm seeing college coaches, and I'm seeing this as a reality, and it's like, oh, I'm locked in. Sure. That was my motivator. Like, oh, fuck this hood ghetto shit. You know what I mean? Real shit.
No, for real.
I want to live peaceful lifestyle, bro.
And I'm still.
I always tell the story.
So misunderstood all the time.
Bro, it's so funny you said that. I swear to God, I could show you right now. I just told somebody that yesterday, so that's funny. But I remember going to Amador Valley, bro, as a freshman, and my cousin Nene died. Rest in peace. She got shot. And I had a rest in peace hoodie. So I'm wearing it to school. You know, it's my hoodie. I'm wearing it. I wear it to school.
And it's normalized.
Yeah. Everybody like, these white people like, what is that?
Oh, my cousin.
And they like, oh, I'm like, oh, it's a rest in peace hoodie. Like my cousin, well, how would you put it on a hoodie? Like, what does that symbolize? And I'm like, well, that's what we do. And he's like, but what's the purpose? I'm like, that's kind of how we, you know, it's like we're memorializing them. You know what I mean? Like, we, and they couldn't fathom it. And then it's like, again, now I'm learning a new norm. You know what I mean? It's like, that's normal out here. Rest in peace hoodies was a thing. That was a fashion statement at one point. You know what I mean?
Or free.
Yeah, exactly. Free somebody. And it was like, you almost didn't really love that person that passed if you didn't get them on a hoodie. You feel me? And it's like, I'm out here with these white people, and they just couldn't fathom it. Like, I just don't understand it. And then it's like, damn, it's a whole nother world out here. So now it piques my interest to, hold on, what more is out there? Like, I need to go. So when I love to travel, but when I travel, I don't travel to like party. I travel to go learn the culture, bro. I want to see the differences in this world, because now I don't.
You just planted a seed in me just now. I appreciate that.
That's dope. I love doing that. But it's like, I don't want, because, and I know I'm rambling. I promise I'm going to get a mic back to you. But it's like, our parents, that generation of our parents, because I'm guessing I'm 32, you're 34. So our parents are probably around the same age, so relatively, somewhere close, in the same generation. And it's like, I love my mom and my dad. You know, they're two of the only people. I have a great relationship with both of them. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but
it's there.
I talk to my parents. My parents are the only two people I talk to every day, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I started to realize, like, because we're raised to not question shit the adults say, right?
For sure.
So I started to realize, like, I'm going to go see it this way, but my mom and dad are telling me I have to do it this way. But the only reason they're telling me I have to do it this way because they don't even know that this way exists. You see what I'm saying? So when it got to the point where it was like, go to college, and I started sitting back and was like, I literally had this talk with my dad. It was like, we're arguing, bro. I'm broke in college. I'm hungry. I haven't ate. And my mom and my dad they're trying, bro. They're trying their best. And it's like, I'm getting $100 put in my bank account. Like, and I'm literally living that life as a college athlete. And I'm telling my dad, he's going off on me because I'm not performing well on the court. And I'm just like, bro, you don't know what the fuck I'm going through, bro.
Yeah, I need to support so I can.
You've never been in these shoes, bro. You've never went to college. You've never had the pressure
I deal with that so much,
bro. It's like, it's real,
in the
bro.
Music.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I'm telling my best friend earlier, I don't mean to cut you off.
No. Go.
I'm telling him earlier, like, me and him, we building our relationship. And I'm telling her I was just on because I told you I'm building with my brother. I'm like, yeah, we was on the duty last night. I'm like, you got PS, whatever you got, like, let's get on duty with us today. He called me on my way over here. I'm going to go do an interview. I just told you I'm doing an interview, but he don't know that from my shoes and how I have to. Let me go back and listen to this voice message that Justin sent me, so I can prep for the
right.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, because we in two different shoes.
Right.
He like, oh, well, I figured if I called you, I'm talking about the video game, then it'll make you less tense. I'm like, I don't get tense on stage. I don't get.
Right.
I've been doing it too long. I started taking music serious 2011, but I've been doing it too long. I get nervous before shows and stuff like that still, but I'm gonna go do it.
Right.
I'm
right,
still gonna
right,
get
right.
done.
You know how to get through it.
Yeah, like so he didn't understand that. I'm trying to explain like you really about to throw me off,
Right.
but he like, oh, I thought I was helping
Right.
because we look at it differently. So just speaking to people not knowing what it's like to be in your shoes, or like the situation I was talking to you about with my friend, like
right.
you don't even know what it's like to be me right now. You just see what's going on with what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't even know that I got a lot of love for you in my heart, and I'm trying to figure out how I can look out for you because our communication not even right.
Right.
But because of how you're approaching the relationship, I got to remove myself because I'm just on some positive shit. I'm better.
Facts. Round of applause for that. I like that. That's the. I think I said it off camera. It's like humans are interesting, bro, and it's like that's why I love doing this, man. Because it's like when I'm having conversations with people and I'm just seeing their perspective, bro, and it just lets me know nobody has the manual on life. Nobody knows the right way to do anything. We're all trying to figure this shit out at the same time, bro. Yeah. And like you say, all those people that you probably were comparing yourself to early on, like why don't I have this? Why do they have that? Why are they able to smile? You know what I mean? A lot of those same people, though, were feeling the same way you were feeling. They were just better at hiding it. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Because you in elementary school and you had J.C. Penney's. Them Adidas had 4 stripes. I don't know if everybody. I had some. They was white with the blue. I had 4 stripes. So I'll wear them until somebody noticed that they got 4 stripes. Right. And then I'm not wearing them no more. You know what I mean? Or the bottom starting to. So you got to, you know what I mean? But I'm looking around and I know I want to be like the kids who got the Jordans. So, you know, when you go through things, I'll just say this real fast. When you're going through things like you get your first pair of Jordans, red and white, your favorite color at the time, and you like, well, I'm about to wear these the next day. But your mom whooping your ass, so your response to your mom whooping your ass is something that she don't agree with, so she take the shoes back, which transitioned into you. Nobody ever got to buy me nothing ever again. I'm going to get my own money from here on out. You ain't got to buy me no shoes. I started working at the Coliseum, working at A's games, lemonade, get your lemonade, pretzels, hot dogs, get your, you ain't got to put no money, you know what I mean?
You want to know how dope that story is, bro? Because, and this is why I say, like, I thought about this question, right? And I'm going to ask this on my other show, Taboo. And it's like, if you could, I'm gonna tell you why I don't even want you to answer it. It's kind of a rhetorical. But if you could go back and erase all the trauma that you've ever experienced in your life, but you could still have the wisdom, the knowledge, and all of the same things you are today, would you do it? Right? And the reason why I don't want you to answer it because I think that's a question you gotta kind of think about before you answer.
I thought about it.
Okay, so
change it.
The reason why you made me just think of that is because I'm gonna walk through this slow. So you say you had the 4-stripe Adidas.
4
right?
stripes.
That's one step, right? So first of all, you're excited because you got a new pair of shoes.
That's it.
Right? Then you go to school, and now these people are joking on you or whatever.
In Jordans,
right,
fresh.
Right. So now it's like those new pair of shoes that was a good feeling. Now it's like embarrassment, right? Sure. Yeah. So then fast forward to you get your first pair of Jordans. Now I'm back on that high. And then you get in trouble for whatever reason. Mom takes them away. So now that good thing becomes a trauma experience, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So then something snaps in you to say, you know what? I'm never putting myself in this position again, right? Nobody has to buy me nothing again, right? That's the blessing in disguise. To have that flip switch, that switch flip. I'm sorry, that switch flip. Because a lot of people don't experience that, right? Follow me. I swear I'm gonna bring it all home. So then you go get a job at the Coliseum, and now you're lemonade, popcorn. Now you just talk to me about how you're comfortable on stage. But all of those steps, bro, set the tone for that.
Blessing.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. For you to be able to walk through a Coliseum with complete strangers and scream out loud, that gets you used to the eyes being on you, and you know what I mean? And it's like now to see what you do today. Yeah. It's like all of those steps were necessary for you to get to this point, bro. Yeah. It's for you to be a go-getter, for you to be able to survive on your own. A lot of like those things like that, I never had to cut grass as a kid. I never had to go, I never had to go out and get it on my own because I always had my mom and my dad to lean on. But you know what else? As an early adult, I was so used to that that it was a curse. Having that somebody to lean on hurt me more than it helped me in the long run because I never had to go get it. Now, it wasn't until I hit rock bottom around 2018, 2017, around that time, to I had to when that then my switch flipped for me. So it was like, you know what? I ain't never put myself in it. So you see what I'm saying? Imagine that.
It's
You
eye opener.
You know what I mean? My life could have been different if I would experience some of those things you experienced earlier. Now, on the flip side of that, some people never figure it out. You could have easily resorted to getting fast money. You could have started robbing people. You could have been breaking in your neighbor's house like the kids did you.
But see, a lot of my friends, that's what they was on.
Same here.
And so I chose to be better.
So then, a round of applause. Every time you do that, I'm gonna give you a round of applause. But so I remember I mentioned my pops earlier, right? So my pops went to prison early. I think I was about 5 years old the first time from when I can remember, right? Did a good chunk of time in the feds. Came home around the time I might have been 11 or so. I was already playing basketball. So then when he came home, he immediately got into the basketball world. And to this day, my dad helps kids get to college. My dad knows just as many college coaches as me, probably more, because he goes to just random games. If he see a kid that's good, he gonna go up and get their number and then try to send them to a school, right?
Yeah.
But I say that to say, right, that's dope, right? Yeah, shout out to Pops. Round of applause for Pops.
Coming up in the OAL, having that, like y'all implementing that in. Just think if we had in the OAL.
Right. Literally, my dad to this day, bro, sends me text messages, footage of kid. He called me, hey, I got this kid, blah, 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 blah. See if so-and-so wants him. Because I know a lot of college coaches also as well. But I say all that to say, me seeing my dad go to prison and how I felt when he wasn't there, and then him coming home and kind of, my dad was a big-time street guy at one point, so he had money, he had all these things. I only hear those stories. I never got to experience that. I never saw my dad with money. You see what I'm saying? And then I'm my dad's youngest, so I have an older brother and I have an older sister on my dad's side.
Okay.
He was in the streets when they were growing up.
So they
but they didn't get to experience because he was running the streets. He wasn't with their moms. So he was having the money and shit, but they weren't reaping the benefits from that because he didn't know no better at the time, right? So I say that to say, seeing that, me processing that as a kid, I promised myself I would never go to jail, bro. So I would never do anything to put myself in position to go to jail.
Please don't take it the wrong way, but that's fire.
That is. I appreciate it because so I say that to say I learned later on, like, again, we grew up around pimp culture out here, right? I learned to never, ever, ever, no matter how tempting it is, to put myself in position to go to prison because of the lasting effects. You know what I mean? I'm watching all my friends get fast money. Whether this hit, remember, we went through all the phases out here. Is the busting the checks, hitting the licks.
I'm dealing with a female.
Hold on, let me get this off. All of those different hustles that I've seen in our generation of all of our friends doing them, as tempting as it was, I always stayed away.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing you might hit 10 licks and get away with it, but all it takes is for number 11 for you to get caught, and now you're going away for 3-4 years or sometimes more. You know what I mean? Or you might have, send a couple P's and all that. However you did it. Yeah. So I say that to say I was learning. I was able to learn from my surroundings to the point to where it's like, okay, I don't want my life to be like that, so I don't want to make that decision.
Likewise,
you know what I mean?
You just made me think about it, man. Because with the situation,
right?
With us being reped, some of my people been involved in things that I never been involved in. But I always dedicated myself to being that person. If they needed an outlet, you do got to clean, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm still that person, and I still want to make that happen. I'm still gonna make that happen.
Thanks. I agree.
So when it come to credit, when it come to real estate, when it come to, I want to make sure my niggas, my people good. You know what I'm saying? And I carry that weight with me because that just made me think, like, the pressure with moms, pressure with my brother being the oldest. I carry that, even though over here I'm not the oldest, but in my situation I am. So I think, in that way, I think leadership, I think, all right, well, they unfortunately fell victim to these things. I haven't. The only time that I went in for holding is because I was with, you know what I mean? We going to Hayward and we going to they pull it. Well, who's this? I'm like, man, y'all always fucking with somebody. But I don't want to say something last. I end up being the reason we go into holding. Kev, why you say something? I'm like, man, they was y'all said something. Why when I say something, it's a problem? You know what I mean? But so we go down for a couple hours out there in Hayward, but I ain't never been to jail. You get what I'm saying?
Me neither.
That's the mindset.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
It's just, I just think it's dope, bro, to be able to look back in hindsight. And first of all, it's a blessing. It's a blessing for us to still be here, right? You always want to appreciate that for the moment.
Yeah.
Well, wait, pause. Do you still, because you started, at one point, you started to feel like, why am I here? Do you still have those thoughts ever?
No.
Because I don't want to minimize that.
When I don't.
Okay.
I feel like I beat suicide. I feel like I beat thoughts of suicide.
I don't even pause to that.
Like I don't think about it. I don't think I don't want to be here. I think finding my purpose, loving on myself first, changed the whole thing, whole perspective. I had to ask myself why I feel like that. Do you love yourself? I had to ask tough questions, right? Do you love yourself? Because I was given so much of me, then it was, are you looking to receive that? Is that what you want? Well, it's not about what you get back. That's not who you are. Through finding myself and finding out who I was, stop having them thoughts. I found out I love taking long walks. When I was in LA, I go to Barnes and Nobles. I walk over there, and I go to the third floor. And I think at the time I picked out to read Charlemagne the God, Black Privilege book, and I people watch, and that was me taking slow breaths and reading a little bit of the book. Okay. Looking outside, look at how they walking that dog. Damn, hell of people out here got dogs. You know what I mean? Like something to get my mind off of the pain and everything that I was going through. Just kind of like healing myself. I did a lot of, like I was saying, like herbs, and like in LA is when I started taking black seed oil, because I don't want to talk about it too much, but I cut my hair for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Bald.
I had went bald. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I had locks before that.
Really, I don't think I knew that, but I do remember you going bald.
Yeah,
And you know why that stands out to me? Because I thought you went bald because you was losing your hair.
Nah.
Then I saw you back with hair, and I was like, what the fuck?
Nah, I was dealing with something. I was deeply depressed.
So what did
I felt lost.
Okay, yeah. I remember when you cut your hair. What? So you were going through a lot. Why cut the hair? What was the reasoning behind cutting the hair?
Being honest, I think looking back, I was lost. I was lost. I didn't know myself the way I know myself now. When you think about locks, or you think about, you know what I mean, like just character and who you are, I feel like locks is, that's what we known for in the town, and I might have been doing that because I'm from here. You know what I mean? So when I cut my hair, I think it was a cry for help.
Wow.
That's what I think.
Wow.
It took me 5-6 years to grow them locks, and it was nice. It made me think about so much other stuff. But now I say that to say, now I've grown my hair back out, and I know who I am, right? And
wait,
it's
I don't
still
want
tied to childhood. Go ahead.
Hold on, I don't want to get to that part yet because I want to touch on the act of saying I'm gonna cut my hair bald.
What the energy?
So you felt like I need to get this energy off of me.
I felt like I needed a new something. Like it was like I need to come new because what I'm doing not working for me. That's what I thought. You know what I mean? I was in a situation I don't want to speak on.
Okay.
But I cut my hair, and my pursuit for music in that moment wasn't really going the way I thought it was supposed to go. You know what I mean? Like, once again, I'm a people pleaser. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, well, you doing this? Let's do this. I can help with it, or I can, you know what I mean? And things weren't really happening, the way that you figure they gonna go. And I'll leave it at that. So when I got out of LA and I got back to Oakland, and I got out of LA when the pandemic hit.
Okay.
So get back to Oakland. Now I'm bald, fresh start. I'm back on 66. This problem that I've been running from since a kid, I'm back here. Space, when everything really hit, I'm back here. No hair. Still singing, still chasing music. I'll never stop doing music. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean to say chase, because I'm somebody who feel like I've arrived since I was born, no matter what it might look like to the masses. Music's my life. It's what I was put here to do. Singing is, you know what I mean? That's where the soul come from, and all the pain and all of that you hear. But I'm back on 6'6". My hair is gone. I'm on the guitar a little more. I'm learning me. I don't have anything now. I done messed up, you know, lost the car, got repoed. I done been through a couple things, like, you know what I mean? Trying to really figure it out. I'm coming out of depression. I'll say that. I'm coming out of depression. And I'm trying to get my life back on track. I'm not working. And I end up moving from 6'6", and I take a step. And my dad, because I also had a point where I was living out of my car.
Wow.
I was living out of my car, but I had a 24-hour membership, and that's how I would take a shower.
Wow.
But anyway, so my dad found out about it, and he, you know, because through this whole time, like, you know, I'm not as close with my parents as you mentioned you were. I've never, there's not anybody that I talk to day in and day out. I don't have that. I don't, and it's not a sob story. It's just, that's my reality, right? So I transitioned from living there to Pop's house, because he like, what you got going on? There's a lot of pieces in the story that's missing also, because when I was staying with Mom, I had met this producer from Atlanta who worked in Emeryville as a personal trainer, and he did music. So when I linked with him, I was riding my bike every day from Oakland to Emeryville, and I'm training also. So I'm got the personal trainer. When I'm done with training, I do music. When we done doing music, I ride my bike back home to the east.
Damn, you probably was in some good shape.
Great shape, bro. Best shape I ever been in. That's why I learned it only take 45 minutes, like to really get where you want to go.
Yep.
45 minutes to an hour. If you implement that every day, your body can look crazy. And I know, because I had seen what
Quickly.
the transit fast.
Yep,
I'm talking
that's a
about
fact.
5 to 6 months.
You a whole nother person.
Abs,
Facts.
chest,
Yep.
back, arms, everything. Like, I go around people and the shirt come on, they intimidated. Like, nice, because they isolating muscles. They isolating what I need to work on, strengthening my knees. So that was me growing from leaving L.A., going back to 6'6". My hair's starting to grow again. I'm working out. I move from Mom's house to Pop's house. I go lay on the couch over there, and I'm getting myself together. End up getting a job at Tesla. I'm back at when I left for LA, I had a job at Tesla, and I left to go to LA. Man, I'm finna go. When I came back, moved in with Pops, I end up getting a job again at Tesla, and I'm living there. Hair starting to grow. I get plantar fasciitis in both my feet while I'm working at Tesla. Shoes the wrong size, being on your feet all day, a lot of walking. My hair's growing. I'm starting to figure out who I am. I get a leadership position at Tesla. They make me a lead. When I get the position, I waited till the last day to apply for it. I did both interviews in one day, and I got the job in the same day too. And they I never seen that before. So God's just showing me different ways of who I am and growth. I released Dotted Lines in this time. I dropped a single called Dotted Lines, and I end up getting another car. I had something, an A to B whip, but I get out of that whip. Been through a lot with that. And then I end up getting this Honda. And I reconnect with my chef. I end up getting my own space to live in. When my best friend find out about it, he like, man, let me rent the other room. So he rent the other room. So now I got my own spot. I got a car again. My hair getting longer. I'm making more money. I start making $30 an hour, right? It's God working, right? He just don't give up, you know what I mean? So for that year, when I got plantar fasciitis, I get a year off from work, and I'm getting disability, right? My hair growing to get disability. When after that's starting to end, we transition this coming up now. My hair is long, been going for 2 years, something like that going on, something like that. Now I work for the VA Veteran Affairs out in Palo Alto, and I got a government job. I make less than $30 an hour, but I got a government job. I'm seeing the benefits now.
Right.
Now I got my dental set up. I got my health set up. And now I just got to implement the gym again, and my hair is back. And I'm being me. I know who I am. I had to love on myself. I had to go through. It was a lot of pain and hard and but I say all that to go back to childhood with my stepmom. My stepmom, I mentioned that relationship, but she called me the golden child.
Oh, wow.
So she felt like my dad treated me different than the way he treated my brothers. But I try to explain to my brothers, I understood that it was him knowing that I don't know who my biological father is, and him knowing that I don't get to see him 7 days a week. He like, my son with me 2.5 days because my mom gonna take me to church on Sunday, and I'm not even going. That's over with on that day. Right. But Friday night, all of Saturday, and so he tried to do little things to, fill that space, fill that void. So, I say that to say, my stepmom called me the golden child. I always had I don't know what's the texture of the hair, but it's like it's wavy, right? And that was one of the things that my stepmom, she would, when I was younger, she'd comb it, but she also used to say little stuff. Oh, you the golden child. You think you da-da-da-da. You need to da-da-da. She'd plant little gems and say nice things sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But I went from dreadlocks back to childhood. I got I'll show you a baby picture later of what my hair was look like and what kind of grade of hair I got. And so now I'm coming who I was at birth. It's like full circle. Wow. It came full circle. Wow. So now my hair is back long again. It's wavy. And I'm letting people know me. Like this is a rebirth. I got a rebirth tat right here with the Grim Reaper and say rebirth. And I'm letting this consciousness, this being that I was put here by, right, shine. It's all out of my control. That's how I feel. All of it. I don't feel in control of any of it. And that's what I'm showcasing. So now I got hair, but I never. I wasn't going bald. I just didn't know who I was. And these locks, it was like it's not working. Some people scared of me. I felt like I was getting hated on. I mean, I still, feel those things in a different way because I'm starting to understand it. You know what I mean? We all have these things that we're dealing with, and when something looks like something else from your perspective, you're going to perceive my situation a certain way. You know what I mean? So, I'm back.
That's dope. A round of applause to that.
I'm back.
Let's just go for a minute. I definitely, and I hate to keep getting all serious and,
Oh, I'm a deep person, so
right,
I don't mind
that.
it. That's who I am. I feel like those conversations need to be had because somebody's going through something similar and they trying to find themselves. And all of our people, when I say our people, I mean Oakland representatives who are early 30s, mid 30s, like the people before us. I don't know if you seen them, but I didn't see them. Right. They was in jail from what I know. Yep. So now that's our role. Yep. And us not repeating those same steps consciously, subconsciously, we hear and the youth get to see us. Right. And it mean a lot to them, even when they're not reaching out. Right now, I got to rebrand what I'm doing because there's 94% male people watching me. And I question that because I'm singing R&B. I'm like, I want the women to, but when I think about it, I'm a representative for people who don't know what direction to go in. Yep. 94% male? That don't even make sense. I'm like, well, oh, okay, you got to know what it is. You know what I mean? So I accept it. I embrace it. I know what it is, and I'm just letting nature take its course.
It's a dope place to be in because it teaches you to kind of focus on what you can control and not put so much stock, energy, and effort into things that you can't. Right. I wanted to ask you as a kid if you could think back, and again, I'm not trying to make you emotional and everything, but I just hearing you describe your childhood every time. Do you ever remember having anybody in your life as a child growing up that pumped confidence into you?
No, I didn't have that.
Really?
I didn't have that. I had a lot of...
Hold on, before you go, it's interesting how fast you answered that. You didn't even have to think about it. No. That tells me a lot. But go ahead and continue.
I went through a lot of... like being older and recognizing it. You got this. You look like this. You know, my mom pushing me around and people thinking like I'm handsome, right? As you know, I'm handsome. So, oh, she's so, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
looking back, like that's a they think like, you know what I mean? They think like this baby is a cute baby. But when I go over here, my stepmom, you know, it ain't no love over here. You almond skin. My son's a little darker, you know what I mean? And I just know what you know what I mean? I've experienced. Dad, I love you. I respect you. My brothers, I love y'all too. This is me getting off my chest what I've experienced and how it makes me feel, and I never talk to y'all about it, but this is just me opening up. You know what I mean? It's nothing but love. Please don't feel no way. But my dad, it wasn't a confidence. It was always, and this is why I like forever gonna have his back. Like if anything gonna make me cry, it's that, bro. But the amount of love that he knew I lacked, he'll pull up on me. If I'm going through something with my mom, he'll pull up on me just to give me a hug. Not to take me nowhere, not to buy me nothing, not to have no long talks. A hug from a man you don't even know how to feel, you know what I mean? Because you don't get, and he gave me that. Just to be able to cry. So I know how to do that for the youth now, you know what I mean? I know how to do that for my brothers. I know how to do it for a woman who's going through something that's serious and might not have never had that feeling. For somebody to hug you, hold you tight, and to tell you let it all out. It's going to be okay, you're going to be good. But you got to let this out, though. Then if I'm sitting there crying, boo-hoo, loud, them cries, whole T-shirt wet, snot on it, they don't care. It ain't about none of that. It's about you feeling better because you cried and you got it out. All right, go ahead and handle your business. Go back in that house. You need anything? Are you hungry? And if I'm hungry, you're going to take me to go get something to eat, feel me? Make sure I'm straight. You got some money in your pocket? Make sure you always got some money in your pocket. I don't care if it's $1. And let me go on about my way. I'll talk to you in a minute. You call me if you need anything. Feel me?
I think that's again, just hearing you explain that. Again, hearing your story, because I know you, but we never talked in depth like this, right? About just going in a chronological order of what you've been through and all these type of things. But me knowing you and just even the way that you text me randomly, or the way you initiate conversations when we see each other, the way you initiate conversations when hello, how's everything going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The way you, like I said,
I care, bro.
And
no matter who I'm talking, I care, bro. I genuinely give a fuck. Why? Because I spent a lot of time going through somebody making me feel like I didn't matter. You know what I mean? You was made like this, and I don't like it, even though, it has something to do with her and her mom. Like, once again, I told you, they didn't physically fought before. You're not finna whoop my son, and my mom pull up, and they throwing him. My dad trying to break it up. But somebody, feel me? Nah. You know what I mean? God made you. It ain't nothing I could do about it. God made me that way. You know what I'm saying? But that person don't like it, and I still experience it to this day. So me being better, I'm going through, you're going to have to accept it. You're going to have to accept this light, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. You're going to have to accept it. There ain't nothing I can do about it. If it's a problem, that's on you, bro. What do you want me to do? You want me to keep dimming my light and not doing a disservice to the world? Because God put me here to give the world something that it needs? I'm wrong for that?
right.
You feel like it's disingenuous because you don't know how to receive love. I know how to give it because I didn't receive it also.
That's a bar.
But let me get it. You don't want it? Okay, well, I'm going to give it to you in different ways. I'm going to keep on loving on you. You're going to have to hate me for loving on you, and you're going to look crazy, so that's going to be on you. That nigga love me too much. What?
Right.
We're not talking about none of that other stuff.
I know what you mean.
I understand it, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How I get misinterpreted
Yeah,
sometimes.
for sure.
I'm going to show you love, bro. I'm going to keep branding Two14 because I didn't get that. You know what I mean? And you the same skin tone as me, right? Like, it's deeper than that, you know what I mean? But I understand how much we need it because of how much I needed it. So sometimes it might come off financial. Sometimes it might come off like, why is he question it? But it's just who I am, bro. If I got it, I'm the type of person, I have 10, but really you got 10 because I'm finna go get 20 because somebody else gonna need another 10 too. Don't matter if I don't got nothing. I understand that currency doesn't just come in the form of money. Relationships are currency. Giving a pair of shoes away is currency. My partner gave me a pair of shoes in college because I was the student that didn't write. I'm living at Holy Names. We both redshirting on the team. C. Jack Properties, my friend who helped me get out of L.A. when I was in L.A. and needed a way home. When he bought me a pair of shoes before because I didn't have them. I'm never going to forget that.
That's hard.
And I'm going to make sure, as long as I'm here, I'm going to do something to keep showing my appreciation for that. Not everything that he's done after that.
Right.
I feel like it's what I'm put here for. I don't expect nothing. I just don't. Even if nobody ever did nothing for me, it's not who I am. You know what I mean?
And that's what made me want to start this, because I was at a point where I didn't know what I was gonna do. I had stopped playing basketball. I had already had my son, and it was just like, what's next? I know I don't want to. I might have been selling cars at the time or something. I know I don't want to do this.
That's
full
hard,
time.
though. You got to hustle.
Right. But it's great money, too, when it's good. You know what I mean? But it was just like who I was to the core just didn't fit with that, because to make money selling cars, you got to kind of lie and trick people. You know what I mean? And it's just, that didn't sit right with me. I'm trying to raise my son to be a good person in this world.
You know who you are.
But I'm being a hypocrite because I'm out here slapping his...
Right. What was happening, what was happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it just didn't sit right with me. But I say all that to say, it's like, when you sit there and you look back on the things that you've went through and just how it shaped you as a person, and then you got to kind of dig through all of these traumas and good experiences, bad experience, and all these things you went through, and you try to find that person at the core. Like, who was I when I was born, before this wicked fucking world shaped me into who I am now? Like, how do I get back to the essence and the root of Justin, or of 214? You know what I mean? Like, how do I find that in the midst of all this bullshit I went through, all these people that have wronged me, some of the people I've wronged, you know what I mean? And how that makes you feel. That's another thing we could talk about. Is like, the people whose hearts we've broken, the people that we kind of fell short and didn't hold up our end of the stick, because we all go through it. You know what I mean? None of us are perfect.
It was the women I treated wrong.
Yeah, just same here. You know what I mean? And that's why again, all of that shit shaped me to be who I am now. I think the difference comes when you make that conscious decision to never try to put somebody in that position to make them feel that way again. You know what I mean? Or
anybody else.
Right. Or like I said earlier, when it comes to my kids, it's like, how do I provide them a life I don't want my kids to have to experience certain things that I experienced, because they might make a different decision. I don't even want to put them in that position. You know what I mean? I don't want my son to be around people making fast money and shit, because he might get intrigued by that, and now he wants to do that. I don't even want him to know what that shit is, to be honest with you, bro.
Fire.
Like, I just want to instill in him the certain morals and integrity. It's like, look, bro, there's a way. You know what I mean? I'm a businessman, bro. You know what I mean? I run 4 companies myself, bro. As the fucking, I make the decisions, and that shit pays my bills, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm 2 years in.
Wow.
I'm 2 years in of being fully self-employed. You know what I mean? And I celebrate that. What?
That's huge.
To be able to
see, you say you celebrate it.
Right.
People should be celebrating it with
Facts.
you. Though.
And a lot of people do, bro. A lot of my support system, bro.
For sure.
A lot of people that I talk to about it, and
them.
that have been on this journey with me, because it is. I have some people close to me that have been on this journey with me.
Shout out to them.
Facts, bro. And I appreciate it. And then when it comes to my son, it's like, my mom and dad used to really tell me all the time, like, you could be anything you want to be, and I never believed them.
Oh, why?
Because they weren't. I wasn't getting those experiences. I wasn't getting. I wasn't getting. Yeah, it was like the cliche saying to tell all the kids. I didn't feel thought behind that. You know what I mean? I didn't feel genuine when they said that. I just felt like that was just the thing to say to all your kids. And then the more I went to school and I heard the teacher say it and I heard this person say it, it's like, oh, y'all full of shit. I can only be what I truly want to be if you put me in position to be that as a kid. You feel me? Now as an adult, I've been living my life y'all way this whole time.
Exactly.
Playing basketball, bro. I fell out of love with hooping as a freshman in college, bro.
Really?
As a freshman in college, bro. I hated the game of basketball. People ask me to this day.
I never knew that about you.
Nobody. A lot of people don't.
I admire your shooting technique. I
A
always think
lot
about
of-
goose neck.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
just think
yeah,
about
yeah.
form or just
Right.
how you understand the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot more to basketball than
For
people
sure.
think. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
just,
a lot
all right,
more.
Just talk about shooting. It's the last thing I'm gonna say about it. But when it comes, a lot of people don't. If you can really shoot the ball, when it's coming off the fingertips,
You feel it. You know what's
in.
going there for sure. That's why Steph can shoot and turn around. That's a fact. That is a fact, bro.
I've had that. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right, right.
I put in enough hours
Right.
shooting the ball to know from the moment that leather do this, you don't gotta have your. You don't even gotta have your fingers on the seams. Really, sometimes you catch. If you practice shooting it, we're talking about quick
It's
release.
reps. Yep. It's
You get
reps.
what I'm saying?
Yep. It's muscle memory.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
If you don't,
But when it came to me, like you said, our mutual friends that we have, they hoop all the time.
Yeah.
Ask them niggas how many times I hoop with them, bro.
right,
Since I stopped,
right.
I got out of school in 2014. It's 2023. That's almost 10 years, almost a decade. I've probably played basketball since then, maybe 7 times, bro.
Oh, yeah.
No exaggeration. I'm somebody that would wake up, go to the park, go to the 24-hour fitness. I play basketball every day, all
It was
day.
life, I know.
I don't even watch hoop. Ask anybody. I don't watch basketball, bro. I don't watch the NBA. Bro, people that are close to me in the basketball, they know this because they always be like, bro, but I know the game also. But see, there's multiple layers as to why I don't watch it though, because
Okay.
I don't
But see-
it's not it. Basketball, the NBA now is entertainment. I'm a basketball purist. I like the game being played a certain way.
Yeah.
They're not playing it that way anymore, so it's just not fun for me.
Right.
I'm just sitting there
All the way down to
bickering and
calls.
complaining. Right.
Yeah.
I'm bickering and complaining the whole time. I'm not putting myself in that position.
Yeah,
You feel me?
stressful.
Right. So
y'all got me watching this bullshit.
Right.
But they used to say, don't watch NBA, watch college. boys in high school.
Exactly.
Watch college games.
But I say all that to say it's like my relationship with basketball is a strange because I devoted my whole life to that shit.
Yeah.
So
Every drop, every ounce.
when it wasn't getting paid back, when it wasn't being reciprocated, and then I get to college and I'm having college teammates. I'm a freshman at New Mexico State. I go to my counselors. They're like, "Oh, what do you want to major in?" And my answer was architectural engineering.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't do that and play basketball at the same time. It's impossible. What about criminal justice? Well, I don't want to do criminal justice.
Trying to tell me what I can't do.
So then it was like, okay, just do general studies, and that's kind of like just getting your prerequisites, like the basic stuff, math, English, all those basic things. And then I wanted to say, but that was the first time it was like a light bulb went up in my head, like, hold on. It was like the curtain was pulled back. Then I'm in English class as a freshman, same school. I have a teacher, I forget his name, English professor. He has us read this article called Colleges for Suckers. And the whole article is just talking about how college is just there's Harvard people with fucking PhDs from Harvard and Yale, and you'll see them outside of that 7-Eleven across the street asking for change. So it's like, wait, I was raised by my parents that college equals success. But then my same parents have never even went to college. So now, as an overthinker, all of this shit is starting to process in my head. Like, oh, something ain't right. Something adding up here. So now, when I'm going to talk to these professors, so now I have a class. Let's say a communications class,
Right.
And the teacher gives us a syllabus on the first day of class, and then you reading it. We go through it on the first day of class, and then you get down to the textbook needed for the class, and it's a book published by the professor. So in order to pass this class, I have to buy your book.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
So now
Business.
it's starting to okay.
I ain't
this is-
experienced that.
Oh, bro, it gets deep. So now I'm a freshman in college, bro, and I immediately lose all respect for the college education system, bro.
Right.
As
Because
a freshman in college,
you understood it.
right? But
Wow.
the downside of it is I still have a mom and dad that I have to complete this for. Justin doesn't give a fuck to complete it at this point.
That pressure.
So now when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to go to class.
Right.
Fuck that class. Fuck that teacher. It's all fake. Then I got a teammate. I'm taking Psych 101. You taking Psych 101, but we learning 2 completely different things. So how are we taking the same class but learning? So now again, I'm a question asker. You know what I mean? So if it don't make sense to me, I can't respect it.
Y'all the same color or 2 different?
No, we're the same color.
Okay. All right.
We just happen to have 2 different professors. So what that showed me was again, just like that professor could put his book as the textbook to fucking do the class, I can teach what I want to teach. There's a base curriculum, don't get me wrong.
Right,
But at the same time, I teach what I teach in this class.
Wow.
So it was like, hold on.
Wow.
This shit ain't, you see what I'm saying? So
Wow.
yeah.
That perspective right there.
Yeah, bro. I experienced that as a freshman in college, bro.